What's going on, everybody? Stat Sheet Sports here, and today we're bringing you guys our Detroit Lions mock draft. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me reach my goal of 600 subscribers by the end of January. Also, hit up the comment section and tell me your thoughts on today's video. Tell me your opinions, who you would have picked, who you thought I should have picked, stuff like that. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our mock drafts. Make sure you check out the ones we've already done. We've done the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Bears, the Packers, and the Jaguars. We also done a 7-round NFC North mock draft with Chicago Sports Network. So make sure you guys check that one out as well. Let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So our first pick with the Lions will be pick number 6. We look at some guys that'll be leaving for the Lions and free agency, some key starters. DJ Chark, obviously, at wide receiver. Jamal Williams at running back. Alex Anzalone at middle linebacker. Evan Brown at guard. Deshaun Elliott at free safety. And Isaiah Buggs at defensive tackle. Those are just guys who are going to be free agents. Not necessarily guys that they're necessarily losing, but just guys that are going to be free agents. The Lions could also use a quarterback, so that'll be something to watch for here. But I think the biggest position of need for the Lions right now is on the defensive side of the football, and I think it's at cornerback. Yes, I see Jalen Carter right here, but I'm not going to pick him because he's not going to last till pick 6, I don't think. Now, if he does last, the Lions should definitely take it, but I don't think he's going to last, so I'm going to pick a more realistic player, and I'm kind of been torn between Brian Brzee and Kelee Ringo, but Kelee Ringo has shown more in college. I think he fits a bigger need for the Lions, so I'm going with Kelee Ringo, the cornerback from Georgia. I think this is a guy who is a very good one-on-one corner, can also play zone. I think he brings a lot of size and physicality to the Lions, and I think he would be a great addition in Detroit. All right, so second pick, I'm going to go with Jalen Carter still there at 18 is super unrealistic. I'm not taking him. But a guy who I do like, who I do think could still be here at 18 is Michael Mayer, and I think he's a guy that it could help the Lions out a lot. They traded Hockenson to the Vikings. They're tied in on the roster right now. Their starting tight end is Brock Wright, so they can definitely improve at that position. And I think that Michael Mayer is the best guy to take there. I think he's a really good tight end. He's a guy that can play in the slot. Like me and Chicago Sports Network were talking about the other day, he is very similar to Kyle Rudolph. They're about the same blocking, but receiving wise, Michael Mayer is just incredibly good. He's an extra receiver on passing plays. He's an extra offensive lineman on run plays. He's just an all-around perfect guy that fits the Lions' needs and fits their style of play. I think he would be a great addition to this Lions team. Now, with the next pick, I'm going to take Drew Sanders, the linebacker from Arkansas. This is a guy that shows very good tackling skills, very good awareness while he's on the field. And the Lions are going to be losing Alex Anzalone. Well, he'll be a free agent, not necessarily losing him, but Alex Anzalone, the starting middle linebacker, is going to be a free agent, as well as his backup, Josh Wood. So both of those guys are going to be free agents. So if you don't want to keep them, honestly, it'd be an upgrade either way. If you want to get Drew Sanders, he is a guy who fits Dan Campbell's system and his style and his culture. He's a guy, like I said, great tackling skills, great awareness, great speed, great downfield attack, and just once he gets his hands on somebody, they're not getting free. Good hit power, and I think he's a solid linebacker from Arkansas. I think he fits in with the Lions perfectly. So now the Lions, looking at the quarterbacks, I see Tanner McKee here, and I think that's who they want me to take. It's suggested, but I'm going to look around. I'm not sure if that's who I want to go with. I'm not sure if that's who I want to take. I'm looking around. I don't really see anybody else. Jordan Battle maybe, or Brandon Joseph, offensive lineman, not really anybody. Let's look around right here. You know what? We will go Tanner McKee because I think he's a guy that can learn. He definitely needs some development. I think you have Goff. He's a guy that can learn and develop under him. And I think you keep him for a year or two, and then you trade away Jared Goff. I think he's a guy, or just let Goff's contract run up. But I think that Tanner McKee can turn into a really good quarterback for you. I think he does need some time to develop, but I think he would fit in really well with the line scheme and their offense. So now with the next pick, let's see who all is available. Just kind of checking out some positions. I'm going to go with Brandon Joseph here to help out in that secondary. So the Lions safeties right now, Deshaun Elliott and Kirby Joseph, not really big name guys. They've been solid for the Lions, but they're not guys that are just popping off the page with talent. Whereas I do think Brandon Joseph is a very talented safety. I think he's a guy that could do well with Detroit. I think he's a guy that is going to play well. He's a smart football player, has great ball hawking skills. He's very fast, and he played, I think, 4 or 5 years in college, so he's a very experienced and developed safety as well. And I think he's a guy that would fit right in with the Lions, and I think he could help them in the back half of that secondary. They've already got in this draft replacing or adding a corner in Keely Ringo, and now adding a safety piece in Brandon Joseph at 81, who I think is a really good safety. I think that could help. I think that could help them out a lot. I think that could really help the Lions out. So now for the Lions, we look at some of the guys available. We got Deuce Vaughn, the running back from Kansas State, Israel Abanikanda, the running back from Pitt, Ventrell Miller, linebacker Florida, Joe Tippmann, offensive tackle from Wisconsin, Keon White, D lineman from Georgia Tech. And with this pick, I'm going to go with Keon White. I think that the Lions could use some depth at the defensive tackle position. They're going to Isaiah Buggs will be a free agent. Austin Bryant will also be a free agent. And I'm not sure if they keep him, if they re-sign Austin Bryant or not. So they definitely can use some depth there at that position. And Keon White is a guy who could turn into a really good starter for you eventually. He just needs some development time. And so I like Keon White. And we really don't know what some of these Georgia Tech players are going to be because, well, the hard part with them is they haven't been developed whatsoever under Jeff Collins and Brent Key. They didn't really get developed at all. And so I think that could help. That could help him and go into a good team like the Lions and help his development out a lot. I'm still looking at the running backs, kind of keeping an eye on them. Not really anybody that I like still on the board because, I'm thinking they may take a running back, but at the same time, I don't really know because I feel like they're going to re-sign Jamal Williams. I feel like he'll be re-signed. But I think I am going to go with Jackson Kirkland here, the offensive tackle from Washington. He is a very smart football player. He's a very good run blocker, very good pass blocker, very experienced. He's just great at setting the edge for you, so that could be a big key on outside run plays is him setting the edge. Doesn't get beat a lot by speed rushers, which is good and very important in the NFL with a lot of speed rushers coming in at the NFL. And so I think he's going to be a good pick up there for them. You look at their offensive tackles, they have at tackle, they have Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. But I believe Decker's not going to be a free agent, but still that's just a position that they could use. I think he's a guy that offers starting potential to maybe take the left tackle position from Taylor Decker, or you move Penei Sewell to left tackle, put Kirkland at right tackle. And I also think too, just with Jackson Kirkland, getting him at 182 gives you a good depth piece, a good backup, and like I said, can turn into a starter for you. Let's see if there's any receivers I like down here. We're gonna go with Zachary Franklin, the wide receiver from UTSA. I think this is a guy I've liked UTSA the last couple of years. They were kind of my sneaky pick team for the last couple of years, and I think that they're going to do very good, or that they did very good because of guys like Frank Harris and Zachary Franklin and their running back, Sincere McCormick, he wasn't there this year, but he was last year. I think that they'll slowly start to fall off as these guys move on to the NFL. But I think a guy like Zachary Franklin, he gives you a lot of length. I believe let me look it up. But I believe he's like 6'4", 6'5", something like that. No, he's only 6'1", but he 185. I thought he was taller than that, but still 6'1", not a bad height at all for a wide receiver. He's a guy. He's only 185 pounds, but obviously he'll put some more weight on. He's very fast, very good ball skills, very precise route runner. His feet are very good, and he's just a guy that can go up and win 50-50 balls for you. And so I think that he is a very good receiver. I think the Lions could use a good piece on the bench to develop and maybe turn into a stardom for him eventually. And I think he's a guy that will could eventually end up helping the Lions out a lot at the receiver position and turn into a solid second or third option for him. But that's all for today, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comment section the picks you agree on, disagree on, what you would have did differently, what you liked that I did. Just let me hear all your thoughts and opinions. We love to interact with the viewers. But that wraps it up for today's video, and we'll see you guys next time.